how about a situation where one person wanting to work with the other person, actually coming together, and the purpose, they actually have, the intention of achieving a goal or a purpose. But at the end, you find out that it's actually not working. Now, you probably would say, oh, then, probably one person's mind, isn't really in tune into that thing. But, we still see the possibility of two people with good intentions coming together or not achieving that same purpose. Instead, there's a flaw, on the purpose of their coming together.
No. You are saying that principle fails sometimes. That's what you're implying.
Well, these are things I would say happening.
No, you don't read the mind. What you see is the outside. What you see and conclude on is based on what you see on the outside. You don't know the inside. So the fact that I come to you and I make promises and I swear by what you see and it just looks like, man, this guy has agreed, does not mean that my mind has actually agreed to it. So you are drawing your conclusions from what is apparent, from what is glaring. But we already said that the spirit in executing your desire does not look at that. It looks at the mind. In spite of your glamour, in spite of the beauty of the cup on the outside, what is the inside? Nobody sees that. Only the spirit sees it.
Okay, so in that regard, when I do not see what your true intentions are, even when you speak them, and they will go into an agreement, do I have to wait to see the result of it, working or failing before I'm certain that, this person?
That's the only way. It's only by the fruits that you will know that this tree is a good tree or this tree is a bad tree, nothing else.
How about when damage is happening in such a case? You may lose one or two things, very important things, or even lose yourself in such, right?
Yeah, that's a different thing entirely. But basically, we are saying that if there is a mastermind behind the goal, you would always achieve the goal. In other words, like you rightly pointed out, if you do not achieve the goal, it does not mean that the principle is failing and therefore it does not work. It simply means that what is apparent is not real. It's not the real thing. All right?
All right.
So
okay.
That's basically it. So as long as you do not achieve the goal, which is possible for two or more people to achieve, you are not achieving it, then what is obvious is, there's no mastermind, because the principle says that where two or three are gathered together, once they say go, the goal will happen. Whatever they put their mind to do, they would achieve it. So you cannot say that is not right because you believe that you were in unison with one or two persons, and because it did not come to pass, therefore, the principle is not valid. No. The principle always and always remains valid forever. So that is not where to check. The principle is not where to check. Where to check is the mind of the other people. You don't know, you cannot see. You cannot see. You cannot know. What they say and what is apparent may not always be the same as what's in the mind.
So if I do not know what is in the mind, right? I do not know. Sometimes is it even possible that we know what is in our own minds? Because sometimes we actually feel like, oh, I'm in control. I feel this should be it, or this is how it should be. But then we find ourselves doing something else entirely. So how is it that we even try to, guide or guard our minds?
Yeah, you already said it. You don't know what's in your mind per se, or sometimes you feel you are in control of your mind, and it's not completely so. So what is the way to know? We're not talking about instant observations. So we're talking about observations over time. Or right now you come to me and you say, what's in my mind? We're not talking about it from that magical perspective. So we're talking about what's in your mind. Is your mind good? At the end of the day, is your mind good or is your mind evil? That's just what we mean. We're not talking about what are you thinking right now. I can tell you what you're thinking right. No, we're not talking about all of that. We're not talking about mystics. We're not talking about magic. Now, the only way to know whether your mind is good or whether your mind is evil, just to use those words because I can't find other words, the state of your mind is by the result that you get, is by what you attract. That's the only way. Even you may not exactly know whether you are where you desire to be or not. It is by the results that you attract. That's how you know. So if I come into a room or you bring, I come into a room and then I see a rat, I see cockroach, I see flies. Even though I'm sitting on the couch and what I'm looking at is lovely, what impression does that give me? This is a dirty place. And then when I smell, the smell is filthy. That's giveaway, irrespective of the beauty that I see in front of me. Behind me in the other rooms, this is a filthy place. It's the same thing for your mind. So when your mind attracts beauty, what you consider beauty, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, my life is good. Oh, rather than, hey, Father, do it for me. Father, do it for me. If you don't do it, I will jump from this mountain. I will die. Rather than that kind of prayer is not about, oh, Father, it's now towards, Father, I thank you. You are counting more of your blessings, and it's more of a gratitude heart now than a heart that feels that is deprived and it's lacking. You would know. So there is no other way to, like you put it the other day, dissect your mind and filter it and determine whether it's good or not so good, other than the fruits that it bears. By their fruit only. I haven't found any other way. Only by their fruits shall you know them.